Hey up, it's Steve from the Old Yorkshire Geek, and welcome to episode 114 of Magnificent Mondays. And this week, because it's the Christmas season, it's not really a Christmas film, but it does have Santa Claus in and a bit of snow. But this week we're doing the Chronicles of Narnia, The Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe from 2005. That's what we're going to break down and review. So that should be fun. But before we start, don't forget to like and subscribe. I'm pointing down there. I don't know where to point, down there. Like and subscribe, share the videos, drop a comment, hit the notification bell if you're subscribed already. We're live on YouTube, we're live on Rumble, and we're live on Twitch. Don't know why I keep doing Twitch. And Win Grace is already in the Christmas spirit, saying ho ho ho. We'll see Santa in a bit. What else? Explore the description for links for stuff like merch. You can see it. And my books, they're under there. Amazon Kindle and paperback. Give them a whirl. Just a bit of fun. Justin's here, saying hello everyone. Hope all is well. Yes, we are. What else? Links. My other channels, my websites, and all that stuff. All the stuff is in the description. But Justin's not in the Christmas spirit. The misery. It's just like my brother. He loves it really, but he goes around saying bah, humbug a lot. Anyway, what else? Become a member and you get early access videos and exclusive videos and stuff like that, and emojis and all that palaver. Right, so Chronicles of Narnia, The Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe from 2005. Obviously based on the book, the novel by C.S. Lewis, which I've not read any of the Narnia books. I thought I had. I was thinking about it, and I thought I had at school, but I've not. I was thinking of the Snow Queen. I remember reading that at school, and it's often said that the White Queen in this, the baddie, Jadis or whatever she's called, or Jadis, I don't know how you pronounce it, is based on the Snow Queen from the Snow Queen story, which came earlier with Hans Christian Andersen thing. So I think that's what I've read, not the Narnia books. But I have seen the BBC version back in the 80s. Anyway, so it's based on that. Directed by Andrew Adamson, who's this was his first live action film, and previously done like Shrek and Shrek 2. I think he won an Oscar for Shrek, didn't he? I think that won the best animated feature. What else? Stars Georgie Henley, Skandar Keynes, cool name, William Moseley, not the Bill Moseley, not him from the Rob Zombie films, not that one. It's a different one. Anna Popplewell. I can imagine Mr. Bean saying that, not Mr. Bean, you know what I mean. Rowan Atkins saying Popplewell. Tilda Swinton, James McAvoy, Jim Broadbent, and Liam Neeson, and others, voice actors. There's Ray Winston, Dawn French, etc. And a lovely musical score from Harry Gregson Williams. Had a budget of $180 million. It's a Disney flick. It's a budget of $180 million, box office of 745, and it was the third biggest, highest grossing film of 2005. I don't know what came above it. Let's check what came out in 2005. Revenge of the Sith, maybe. Let's see. Yes, Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire was number 1, Revenge of the Sith number 2, and this was number 3. Number 4 were War of the Worlds. We'll go through the list. Number 4 were War of the Worlds. Number 5 were King Kong, Peter Jackson's King Kong. Number 6, Madagascar. Number 7, Mr. and Mrs. Smith. Number 8, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, which I've never seen. That one. Number 9, Batman Begins, and number 10, Hitch, another one I've not seen. That's the Will Smith film, isn't it? So there we go. That was the top 10 of 2005. Anywho, Justin says, I love Christmas, haha, but not in the spirit yet. I'm not really. I've put some lights. Oh, where is it? There on the shelf, and up there. That's as far as I've got. But my cat was pawing at them, so they might come down soon. The Snow Queen, aka the super faithful Frozen adaptation. Yes, but well, yeah. Ish. I always remember him getting the kid in it. I can't remember his name, or Kai or whatever. I can't remember. Getting a shard from a magic mirror. Get a shard of glass from a magic mirror in his eye. Always remember that bit. But anyway, right, so, right, off we go. We'll get on with the film. Obviously, we're not just going to watch it, because YouTube will go mental. We're going to go through it, it's a breakdown and review. We're going to go through it in a series of stills, maybe play the odd snippet and all that. And I'll try and remember what I've gleaned from... I've only got the DVD, not got it on Blu-ray. And it's the one disc, so it's not the 2-disc DVD with all the special features, but it did have a couple of commentaries, and I've listened to one of them, and all that stuff. So whatever. Wingrace says today is the only first acceptable day to be Christmassy. Yes, it is. Yes, I've been itching to start singing Christmas songs and playing Christmas songs around the house. So I've listened to Greg Lake. I Believe in Father Christmas and The Darkness, Christmas Time, Don't Let the Bells End. What else have I listened to that's Christmassy today? Trans-Siberian Orchestra, Carol of the Bells, listened to that today. What else have I listened to? Bit of Chris de Burgh, A Spaceman Came Travelling, listened to that. Yes, I do like listening to Christmas songs, and I've had a little drinky, not much. I've had a bit of Jack Daniels and Coke. I don't drink very often, but I thought I would indulge. Right, so I'll get on with it. I'll pop myself down in the corner, and we shall begin. Let me just get rid of all that stuff from there, and down I go into the corner of the screen. There I am. That old Yorkshire lush. Only had one. Oh dear. Joking. I presume that's what that means. JK, joking. Unless it's a Harry Potter joke. Anywho, right, off we go. Let's full screen this baby and add it to the stage. Is that what they call it? Is that what they call it? Add it to the stage. Yes, add to the stage, yes. As we see, Walt Disney flick. I didn't realise it was a Walt Disney flick. Oh, just kidding. I always thought it means joking. Joking. Just kidding. I suppose it could be. It could be either or. Just let me have it. I'm old. I don't know these things. I don't know what the kids are saying these days. Anyway, where were we? Oh, yes, Walt Disney flick. I didn't realise till today. Obviously, I've seen this film a few times over the years, but I've never really noticed who distributed it. It was a Walt Disney flick. I suppose they wanted to get on the Lord of the Rings / Harry Potter gravy train, which they kind of did, didn't they? But anyway, with these films. These films are kind of in between Lord of the Rings and Harry Potter, aren't they, in terms of the story? Anyway, we begin in England. In 1940, the height of the Blitz in London. There you go, sirens wailing. Oh, pardon me, burping now. And here we see some German bombers. I've got it in my notes what they are, I can't remember. Heinkel, HE. Is that what Heinkel's? I don't know. HE 111 bombers, apparently. But here they are, only dropping bombs on London, on old London town. There they are, dropping bombs. Oh, and they're getting shot at and stuff. But here they go, dropping the bombs. There they go. Down they go. The height of the Blitz. And there we see Edmund Pevensey. This is a story about the Pevensey family from Finchley in London. Don't ask me what part of London that is. I have no idea. I've been to London once in my life, and I was 11. So, what year will that have been? 1978. For a day with school. Anyway, he's an idiot, He's looking, is it an open, window? It's supposed to have curtains closed and everything, aren't there? Why is there no tape on the windows, by the way? I thought during the war, everybody had to have tape on the windows, so they don't shatter. But anyway, whatever. He's looking, and his brother's going to come running in. And he's on his mother, his mother comes running in. Get away from the window, that's his brother, Peter. By the way, this is Skandar Keynes as Edmund, William Moseley as Peter. Don't ask me who plays the mother, I have no idea. But anyway, they've got to get to the shelter, because back in those days, A lot of families, I don't know if most, I don't know, but a lot of families had, I think what they call Anderson shelters. You dug a hole in the back garden and put like a corrugated thing over it and then covered it over and went in during an air raid. That's Susan Pevensey, played by Anna Popplewell, who and I filled out. Look at pictures of her now, and blimey. And Lucy, young Lucy, there she is at the front, is played by Georgie Hensley. Is it Hensley or Hensey? Whatever. So they run into the shelter at the bottom of the garden, because it's all kicking off, there's bombs going off and all that stuff. I bet it was terrifying. I bet it was, we're lucky these days, aren't we? Unless we live in like Ukraine or Gaza, somewhere like that. But, we're lucky where we live that all this stuff ain't going on. But I bet it was terrifying back then. But anyway, Edmund has gone running back in the house. That's what she's saying that for. He's gone running back in because he wants to get a photo of his dad. His dad's away fighting in the war. And he's gone to get a photo of him. And Peter's gone running after him. There we go. And anyway, here we go. Hang on, I've missed it. There's an explosion that goes. There we go. So obviously a bomb's hit near them, smashed the window, but they're fine. We see some not very good shadows of planes. Looked a bit iffy, didn't they? But anyway. So they go running back and they end up in the shelter. They play humour with Edmund. He says, "Why don't you ever do as you're told?" Which we come back to again later. So Edmund is always getting picked on by the other kids. He's the third kid. Peter's the eldest. Susan's next. Then Edmund. Then Lucy. And he's always the one that seems to be getting into trouble the most. Anyway, then we cut to, I don't know, passage of time. It could be the next day for all I know. I have no idea. Or it could be weeks later. Who knows? But anyway, they're evacuating the kids, which was something that happened back then. They sent a lot of kids from like London and other major cities to parts of the country where it were less likely that they'd be bombed. I think my mum's told me that during the war, when she were young, when she were a little girl during the war, her family, my granddad and grandma, they took in an evacuee from London. Don't know anything about who it was. I don't know if it were a girl or a boy or whatever, but they said they took one in. But I bet that was stressful for the not only the kids but for the parents as well. But there she is, sending them off, saying it's all emotional and that stuff. And goodbye. And they're going to their uncles. I think they said it's their uncle. Uncle, I forgot his name. Digby Kirk, something like that, isn't it? I'm going to have to check. I've forgotten. It's played by Jim Broadbent. Go on, cast. Where are you? Jim, where are you? Diggory. That's it. Diggory Kirk, not Digby. Digby was a big dog, wasn't it? Diggory Kirk. Anyway, so they're all, she's saying, "Look after them, Peter, because you're the eldest." "I will, Mum." Good man. By the way, they're frightfully posh. They're supposed to be like a regular London family. But I think they're a slightly more well-to-do than probably the average Londoner. I suppose, would they be middle class or upper working class? I don't know. We have a different class system in the UK to what you have in America. You have I suppose working class people in America are ones that have no money whatsoever, and just people that have got a job or whatever, and middle class, But in the UK, working class people, I'm going from what I was taught at school, basically about Victorian times. Working class people were, the poor people. They often had jobs, but they didn't have much, in liquid funds. They didn't have much. They usually lived in rented accommodation, etc. Middle class were like upper management or business owners that owned their own houses. Often had staff, at least one maid. That were a middle class person. And then upper class, well, your toffs, your lords and ladies, people that lived in mansions and stately homes and all that stuff. They had butlers and dozens of servants. That were upper class. But I'm guessing these are kind of upper middle class because they're not. They're frightfully posh, frightfully posh voices. Not giving it because they're from London, so they're not giving it all. Oh, blimey, having it apples and pears. You'll hear a Cockney accent later because Ray Winston's in. Anyway, so they're sending them off. Do we ever learn what's happened to their dad in the other films? I think I've seen Prince Caspian, but I don't think I've seen Voyage of the Dawn Treader. We've got them on DVD. I don't think I've ever got round to watching them two. I don't know why, because I really like this film. I think it's a really good film, but anyway, I'll have to get round to it. Anyway, right, she's sending them off, and they're all getting emotional. Right, so off they go. They're watching some soldiers, they're probably going off to war, or they're coming home from war, I don't know. But anyway, they get on the train. Everything's going to be all right. It's all very sad. Look, all the mums are crying. I got a bit emotional myself because I'm a big softie. And off they go to wherever they're going. I don't know where they're going. Does it say in the plot description? No, it just says to the country home of Professor Kirk. I'm sure they say he's their uncle, but I'm not sure. Does it say if I check on Mount Diggory Kirk? Who is he? Doesn't say. Never mind. But little do we know that Diggory Kirk has been to Narnia in the past, but we don't know that. We don't know that in this film. We're told that in The Magician's Nephew, which is a later book in the series, written later, but it's actually set before. It's a prequel. But anyway. Right, so off they go on their choo-choo train, out of London, into the countryside. There they go, on the Hogwarts Express. It's not, but I'll tell you what it is, because it says here somewhere. The motive power for the Pevensy's evacuation train was the GWR 7802 Bradley Manor. My mate Oliver will be all interested in this because he's into trains. One of the former Great Western Railway's Manor-class steam locomotives. 9 out of the 30 Manor-class locomotives built survive today. So there you go. Anyway, so here they go. They're getting a cabin with some other kids, and off they go. I don't know how long they're going to be en route. Oh, it says there, look, Bradley Manor. It says there, look, on the side of the train. Heading to Hogwarts, but they're not. Where they're stopping? They stop at Does that say Hickley? I think it does, doesn't it? Wherever that is. They're not stopping at Tilda Swinton or James McAvoy. Goosey Station, it says there. It doesn't say that there. It says, that does say Goosey. It says Hickley, doesn't it? What the hell's Goosey? Oh dear. Right, so these kids are off. These don't look particularly nice. They look at their name tags and just basically drag them off. Go on, bloody looking after bloody London kids, bloody hell. Anyway, so off they go to their next stop, and they'll go choo choo choo, and all very nice. I don't know where this must have been filmed in the UK if it's a British train. This was filmed all over the world, a very international film. Filmed in New Zealand, obviously, for major parts of it, but also filmed in the UK, in America, and where else? Czech Republic, Poland. It was filmed all over. But anywho, but this is England, I think. Right, so where they're going here? Coombe Holt, that's where they're going. Right, so off the train there, and they've got to wait now. Here comes their transport. This is the housemaid, whatever. That's not the housekeeper of Professor Kirk, whose name I can't remember. Justice says, every time I see this movie, I hear the Saturday Night Live skit Lazy Sunday. I have no idea, because I've never seen Saturday Night Live. I don't think it's ever been shown over here. I'm going to check. Has Saturday Night Live ever been broadcast in the UK. I'll probably say it has now. No, there was a UK version, but I don't know when. Apparently it's on now, on Prime Video, Roku, apparently. I don't know, but I'm on about the, the American version. This is international versions, broadcast. I don't think it has, I don't think it has ever been shown in the UK. But obviously there's a UK version apparently now, which I'd never heard of. It's on Amazon. But I don't know who's on it. I have no idea. That's the comment I left on your post today. Is it? Oh, what do you say? Chronic. What? That. A quote from the SNL song. Oh, right. Okie dokie. I thought it was just a pun. Thought it was just one of Windgrace's many puns. What happened then? Check out Lazy Sunday. I will, but not now. We're all about the Hamiltons, baby. Okie dokie. Anyway, right. I'm looking up what she's called. They're coming to meet and want to. Hey, Mrs. Macready, played by Elizabeth Hawthorne, Kirk's strict housekeeper. Here she comes with a pony and trap. Oh, it says bloody the hill. So, very Professor McGonagall, isn't she, to be honest? But anyway, off she goes. The pile in the back and head out to where Professor Kirk lives, which is a very big, it's a stately home, isn't it? I don't know where it was filmed. Does it say? Let's have a look on the filming locations. It's Kentwell Hall in Suffolk. All right. Professor's house digitally recreated using Kentwell Hall. So it's not actually there then. It's not actually there. They've digitally recreated it. So I wonder what's there. Maybe just nothing. I don't know. Maybe or trees or nothing. But it's based on Kentwell Hall in Suffolk. Wingate says, I like the Michael Bolton Jack Sparrow song too. All, talking Dutch, because I don't know. Because it's not part of my culture. Anywho, right, so here they are, arriving there. She's telling them, we're not used to having kids round here. No running about, no shouting, no touching anything, no breaking things. Basically behave yourself. Don't use the dumbwaiter and all that stuff. No touching of the historical artefacts, such as that bust of somebody. And no disturbing of the professor. And that's his room. And little Georgie sees a shadow, and for some reason it scares her. Don't know why. But right, so they're getting settled in. Obviously, little George is obviously a bit nervous about it. It's a big thing, isn't it, for kids? Anyway, so they're saying we'll be fine. We're good. We've got this big house to explore. It'll be fun and all that stuff. Edmund's up to no good by the looks of it. Anyway. So they're going to play the board, so they're going to play hide and seek. So here we go. Right, so off they go hiding, and obviously Lucy is going to find a wardrobe of the title any minute now. There we go, under that sheet. So she pulls the sheet off. And apparently the director, Andrew Adamson, originally wanted it to be a wardrobe. Let's have a look at it from the front. They're going to show us. It from the front. There we go. Wanted a wardrobe with some wardrobes have a big mirror in the door. He wanted one of those. The director of photography said, "Oh no, because mirrors are a nightmare, aren't they, for filmmaking?" So anyway, but apparently in the book, it's not. It's described as not having a mirror. Although C.S. Lewis did say that the wardrobe in The Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe was based on a wardrobe that he saw as a kid or something. But that one did have a mirror in it, so I think that's why the director wanted one with a mirror. But the one in the book didn't have a mirror. Anyway, so she gets in, she's hiding. Remember, they're playing hide and seek, and she goes moving all the way to the back of the wardrobe with the fur coats, and she's going back. I'd be thinking, how big's this wardrobe? I'm stepping back and going a long way, and then suddenly, gasp! There's snow and branches and stuff. Oh my golly jeepers! She's in Narnia. There she is, thinking, what the blooming number's going on? So she stepped out into a snowy forest, the snowy forest of Narnia, which is actually, now then, we're moving around the world a lot. I think some parts of it are in a studio, some of it's in a snowy forest in Poland, and some of it's in a snowy, rocky landscape, forest, whatever, in the Czech Republic. But anyway, so she's all excited looking round. And apparently I think the snow's real, with a little bit of digital snow. So that's why it looks so realistic, because they actually found a snowy forest. It's not a fake snowy forest, it's a real snowy forest in Poland. Anyway, have we seen the lamppost? Has she found the lamppost yet? Looks like she's found, there it is, isn't it? The lamppost in the middle of a forest. Show us in a minute. There it is. A gas lamppost. So who keeps lighting it? Or is it just lit forever? I'm guessing it's magic. It's a magic lamppost in the middle of the forest. And apparently we learn how it gets there in The Magician's Nephew, in the prequel featuring Diggory Kirk. Apparently it's from a London lamppost that were transported there magically. And essentially planted, and it grew into a part of the lamppost grew into that. So I'd say it's magic, which is why it's there. It basically marks the boundary of Narnia. So like, what's going on here? And then she hears a noise. There we go. She hears some rustling, and we see some funky legs. And then then Mr. Tumnus arrives, and she screams, "Little Georgie!" They didn't tell her what James McAvoy were going to look like, although he didn't really look like that. His top half did. Obviously, they digitally added his legs, the bottom half of his legs. He wore green socks or green stockings, and they gave him, hooves afterwards. But they didn't tell her what he was going to look like. So apparently her scream is genuine, because she didn't know what to expect. And she read the script. Surely it's described in the script. I don't know, but anyway. So her scream was genuine. So there is James McAvoy as Mr. Tumnus, who apparently is a faun. Or is he what do they call him? Satyr? I don't know. What's the difference? I have no idea. But anyway, he's got some packages, and I don't know. Well, it doesn't explain. I don't think it does. Why he's got all these packages? Is he the postman as well? I don't know. Or has he been to the post office and picked them up? Where is the Narnia post office? I have no idea. But anyway. So they introduce themselves to each other, and he asks if she's a daughter of Eve, and she says, well, my mother's called, whatever her mother's called. She says, anyway, she's human. So apparently there's no humans in Narnia anymore. Maybe he was asking if she's a daughter of Eve. I've missed it, haven't I? Where we go. You mean to say that you're a daughter of Eve? Said James McAvoy, putting on an English accent. We're not hearing his Scottish accent. There we go. Fauns are Roman, and satyrs, how do you pronounce it? Are Greek. All right, so basically the same thing then. But from opposite sides of the Adriatic. Anyway. But right, so he's going to take her to his house and going to give her some hot chocolate and toast and stuff like that. But he's saying, you're in Narnia. She's saying, what's going on here? I just came through a wardrobe and suddenly I'm here. And he says, this is Narnia. There we go. From Castle Cair Paravel on the Eastern Ocean to other places. Anyway, right, so there we go, he introduced himself, Tumnus, Mr. Tumnus. So, but it's kind of not entirely a good guy at this point, because I suppose he's kind of scared. So we learned that the White Queen, or the White Witch, whatever you want to call her, Tilda Swinton, has like ordered that if any humans are found in Narnia, they're to be brought to her. And he's thinking about that, because obviously everybody's scared of her. There you go. She says she's come from the spare room, and he says, spare room? The wondrous land of spare room. But anyway, there we go. There'll be a glorious fire in his house, with what was it? Toast, tea, and cakes. It's all frightfully English. C.S. Lewis and J.R. Tolkien kind of wrote their stories, the Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit and all that stuff, and the Narnia books, simultaneously, and they were friends, and they conversed with each other about it. They're both part of the same literary group, so that's probably why there's similarities. But apparently they fell out, didn't they? They fell out because C.S. Lewis married a divorcee, and Tolkien didn't like that, so they fell out over that. Amazing. Anyway, it was the olden days. But anyway, right, so off. Right, so we're going to have sardines as well. So remember, it's the war and rationing were going on, and treats and stuff like that were hard to come by, because rationing were happening, and you had to make do with what you had. Right, so anyway, now we're in the Czech Republic. We were in Poland before, now we're in the Czech Republic, in another snowy, foresty, rocky landscape where Mr. Tumnus's house is. There it is, in a cliffside or whatever. Slightly reminiscent, I don't know, of a hobbit hole, but not as nice. But there it is, all very lovely. Got pictures of his family. Anyway, he's going to give her a drink. Here we go. Hang on, what was that? These books that you were looking at, where are they gone? Come on, show us the books. Just bloody saw them. There we go. The Life and Letters of, don't know what that says. Celerus or something, I have no idea. Is man a myth? Humans, nymphs, and their ways. Is that what that says? I think it does. What does that say? Men, monks, and gamekeepers. Oh, yeah. Are these, are they mentioned in the Narnia books? I have no idea. I can't see what that says. A study in popular, I don't know. Legend? I don't know what that says. Anyway. Right, so here we will learn that there's been no it's been winter essentially for 100 years. There's been no Christmas either for 100 years because of the White Queen. She's taken over Narnia, and made it winter. So I'm guessing he's really old. How old are people in Narnia? Because he said you would love it in summer, so he must have seen Narnia in summer. So he must be really over 100 years old. Anyway, he's given her tea. It's supposed to be tea, but that's it. It's not hot chocolate. It's supposed to be tea, but Georgie Hensley, whatever she's called, doesn't like tea, so they gave her hot chocolate. But it's supposed to be tea. But I think he's put something in it. I'm not sure if he's put something in it to make her fall asleep, or if it's just the blazing fire. But he does start playing a tune on his pipes, or does that lull her to sleep, or maybe it's a combination of all three. I don't know, but she ends up nodding off, then watching the flames, the pictures in the fire. Look, so anyway, so off she goes, and then she wakes up, and I'm expecting him to be gone or something, but he's not. He's actually still there, and he's obviously been thinking about what to do. And he's come to a decision. He was gonna give her up to the White Queen, a White Witch, whatever. And I think he's changed his mind, because he's basically told her that if we're going to do something bad, but he says, no, got to get her away and send her back home. I could have sworn I felt a cat rub by my leg then. She's there. That was spooky. Ghost cat. Anyway, so they're going running through the woods again, back to the lamppost, and sending her back to spare room. Sounds like something off John Carter, doesn't it? Anyways, there he's saying, I'm sorry, and all that stuff. And so she gives him her handkerchief. That's why he's dabbing his eyes, and she gives him it. So he says he's sorry. So off they go. Off she goes, I mean. Back home, and she jumps back out. She's been there for hours and hours and hours. She jumps back out saying, I'm back, everybody, don't have to worry. And they're saying, I think he's still counting. Because obviously no time passes, or very little time passes in our world to what passes in Narnia. But he says, I'm all right. So what are you on about? I haven't finished counting yet. So I think she's ruined the game of hide and seek. She says, I was in Narnia. I've been gone for hours. No, you haven't. But she goes to show them. But the back of the wardrobe's just normal now. Why? Dunno. But it isn't. So anyway, it's only wood back there, not Narnia. I don't know why it isn't, because she goes back again, and it is. I don't know. It's magic. It's magic. But no, they don't really believe her anyway. So they're saying, got to get on with being kids. Right. So, but Lucy's going to go have another look in the wardrobe, and Edmund follows her, because I think he's been for a wee or whatever in the middle of the night, and he sees her and follows her. She goes in, and let's say this time she goes through. I don't know why we're just a regular wardrobe suddenly when Susan were looking at it. I don't know. Is it just certain times of day, or is it like when you park in a car park and it says no return for 2 hours? You've got like 2 hours and you're not allowed back. Is that what it is? I don't know. Anyway, so he follows her. He goes going through and saying, "Oh, you're not scared of the dark, Lucy?" And then he goes through, and then suddenly there's branches, and then we go, and he's in Narnia now, and he falls over, slips on the snow. He's like, I think I believe you now, Lucy, but she's nowhere to be seen. Is Lucy. But he comes to the lamppost, and then we hear the jingle jangle of a sleigh, and he nearly gets run over. Here it comes. Say, Lucy. There we go. A sleigh nearly runs him over. There it goes. Pulled by. I don't know what it's pulled by. So I don't know where this bit was filmed. This might be in a studio. But apparently they wanted to import some North American reindeer, caribou, I don't know, to be pulling this sleigh. But the New Zealand government wouldn't allow it because apparently they were having some disease outbreak at the time. So they didn't want diseased animals to come in. But they allowed some wolves to be imported. So maybe this is filmed in a studio in New Zealand. I don't know. But I don't know if they've used regular deer. I don't know. But anyway. Maybe the CG. Who knows? I have no idea. But anyway, so here we see, is it Kiran Shah? Something like that, his name. I'll have to check. Yes, Kiran Shah as Ginnabrick. Jadis, I don't know how to pronounce it. I don't think they ever say a name in this. She's just the White Witch or the White Queen. But anyway, as a servant dwarf. He didn't have a name in the book, apparently, but they give him a name for the film. Ginnabrick or Ginnabrick, I can't remember. I thought it was Deep Roy at first, but it's Kiran Shah. Anyway, so he comes, he wants to stab. He wants to stab Edmund to death. And she's saying, what's going... Oh, right. How does she pronounce it? Let's have a listen.
What is it now, Ginnabrick?
Ginnabrick, like Martin Guerrero of Stargate. No J. Anyway, right, so he's saying, oh, no, don't let him kill me, and all that. And she stops him, and she obviously realises he's a son of Adam. He's asking how many there are of them. 4. But there's only two of them there at the moment, so she's been all nicey with him, and she even wraps him in her fur cloak, and gives him some hot chocolate that she magics up because she's a witch. By the way, this is Tilda Swinton as the witch. There you go. She magics up some hot chocolate, and then he says, got anything to eat? And he asks for Turkish delight because, as I said, treats are hard to come by. So stuff like that. I love Turkish delight. I do. It's Christmas, isn't it? I've got to have Turkish delight at Christmas. Anyway, I shouldn't do, being type 2 diabetic, but I love it. Anyway, so I was drinking that, and then she makes him something. We've got some Turkish delight, and apparently it's magical Turkish delight. A lot of people saying, he eats that, and then suddenly he's willing to betray his entire family and all of Narnia and all that. But apparently it's magical Turkish delight that kind of makes you eat it, and you'll do anything for more. Which they don't really cover in this, but anyway. Right, so he's stuffing his face full of that, and she's saying you could even be a king. She's getting round him and all that, and said, but really what you should do is bring your brothers and sisters to my castle. There we go, which is beyond them two hills. You're going to show it. There we go. That's where her castle's over there somewhere, over yonder, and that whole room simply stuffed with Turkish delight. So he's easily plied, is the lad. It's kind of annoying, is Edmund, but I think it was more annoying in the BBC version, if I'm remembering right. I could be wrong, but it's a long time since I've seen it. But he's a kid, isn't he? He's a kid, so he's easily won over, especially during the war, when, as I said, we didn't have much. But anyway, so he says, go and bring them to my castle, and I'll see you then. So he says, all right, but suddenly she's gone, and then Lucy appears. Oh, you're here. So he's still got the icing sugar from the Turkish delight around his gob. And says, I've been to see Mr. Tumnus. So anyway, so we're going to head back now. So they go back and they tell them that we've been to Narnia, and Edmund was there as well. But then he suddenly is saying, no, I was just playing along. It's all a lie. So she starts crying, just poor little Lucy. But is it? I don't know if it's this scene or a scene later on where she struggled getting the tears and starting to cry, and to get Anna Popplewell, play Susan, she had to start crying to get her to start crying as well. Girls are like. But I don't know if it's this scene or a scene later where they're all crying. Anyway, so she runs off into Professor Kirk, Professor Diggory T. Kirk. Played by Jim Broadbent, the great Jim Broadbent, who were also in Harry Potter, weren't he? Who did he play in Harry Potter? In one of the later ones, wasn't he? Because he wanted to collect Harry for his collection, didn't he, of wizards. I can't remember the name of the character, but anyway. Kindly old gentleman. If you've read The Magician's Nephew, you'll know that he's been to Narnia and somewhere else. Chan, can't remember. I've not read it. I've read up on it. I've done a bit of research. Was it Professor Slugworth? There we go. Thank you, Wingrace. Professor Slugworth. So he's been to Chan and Narnia. Apparently before Narnia was created by Aslan or something. I don't really know. But anyway. But we don't know that in this film. So, here we go. She's having. Apparently, this is a relic from old Narnia when he went. Slugworth is Willy Wonka. Oh, is it Slughorn? Professor Slughorn. Yes, Slugworth was the bad guy that were really working for Willy Wonka, wasn't he, Slugworth? Anyway, where were we? This apple that's got tobacco in for his pipe. Apparently, that's from Narnia. Can't really make out the inscriptions on it, but anyway, apparently from his adventures when he were a kid. So here he is. So he wanted to know what's going on, and they're saying, no, Lucy's upset, because we've had to leave London and all that, and I will keep the kids in check, Professor. And then they said to him, she's going on about going through the wardrobe and ending up in another land, and so he's obviously interested because he knows all about it. So he's all interested. Anyway, cut to next day, a week later. I don't know. They're playing cricket because it's England. I hate cricket, but anyway. And he hits the ball through the window. Here he goes. Oh, hang on. Here we go. Psh, good shot, must admit. 6. It's a 6, isn't it? Psh, straight through the stained glass window. Won't be cheap to replace, and he's knocked over a suit of armour as well. So they're going to go and hide, apparently. They can't hide forever, can they? But, so they go and hide in the wardrobe. There they go. Well, there's going to hope that the window fixes itself. Wingrace says, never played cricket, but I love croquet. Lol. Never played croquet either. I don't even know what rules for croquet. But anyway. Right, so in they go. Into the wardrobe to hide forever. But, which, I suppose in their terms, it kind of is. Did they think he's going to kill them or something? Or, he can play pop with them. He's not going to do what else, is he? Anyway, so they all end up in Narnia now, look. And so they've got to go to find Mr. Tumnus. They're having a snowball fight as well. Anyway, so obviously Peter's telling off Edmund again because Edmund's always been told off, and that's one of the reasons why he's probably easy to turn to, for the witch to turn him to her ways, because he's they call him a traitor and stuff in this film, but I think that's going a bit far, but we'll get to that. But anyway, so I think Lucy should decide what they should do, because Susan said we should go straight back home, but Peter says Lucy should decide. So we're going to go see Mr. Tumnus. So off they go. Alright, and they say it's too cold here, and so they go and get some fur coats from out of the wardrobe. There we go. Right, so off they go to Mr. Tumnus's pad in the Czech Republic. They're all having fun, rolling about in the snow, but something's happened. This door's been smashed in, and Mr. Tumnus is nowhere to be seen, and it's all what's the phrase? Ransacked. That's the word, ransacked. And he's not there, and I think they find something. I think like a note or whatever. There we go. In English, does it say? Does he read it out? Warrant of death, it says, I think, or something. A warrant of arrest, sorry. Does he read it out? The Fawn Tumnus is hereby charged with high treason against her Imperial Majesty. Does it say a name? Oh, yes, it does. How does he pronounce it? How does he pronounce it?
Jadis.
Jadis. There we go. Queen of Narnia. Oh, it says there, look. For comforting her enemies and fraternising with humans. Signed Morgrim, Captain of the Secret Police. And that's his paw print, because he's a wolf. He's a wolf. Long live the Queen. Right. So we should definitely go back, because, it's not our problem. If it's the police. Maybe we could call the police. They are the police. Anyway. But remember, Edmund is supposed to be taking them to see the White Queen, isn't he? That's his instructions. What's that there? Is it a bird? Oh, yes, it is. Cool. Sorry, never noticed it before. This is where we meet Mr. Beaver. They come out, and here comes Mr. Beaver. Here he is. And he's going up to his head. Come on. And then we hear the dulcet tones of Ray Winston.
I ain't going to smell it if that's what you want.
Cool, blimey, Governor. I'm Ray Winston. a.k.a. Beowulf, I'll come here to kill your monster. That's a London accent. Cool, blimey, governor. But anyway, it says to her, Lucy Pevensey, Mr. Tumnus told me if anything happened to him, I'd to come and find you, and all that palaver, etc. So they're going back. Oh, right, of course, got her a handkerchief. Right, so they have to go back to the beavers' lodge. They live in lodges, don't the beavers? So off they go. Apparently, some of the trees are working for the Queen as well, so they have to be careful what they say, because some of the trees are listening. Right, so anyway, so off they go. To their lodge, dam, whatever you want to call it. And it was Mrs. Beaver, who is voiced by Dawn French, I think. I'll just double check. I think it's Dawn French. Yes, as the voice of Mrs. Beaver. From French and Saunders. I don't know if you got that over in America. I'm trying to think. Oh, she was the Griffin. Oh, bloody hell, cat! Jesus Christ, I shat myself then. Bloody animal. What was I saying? Dawn French. She played the singer in the Gryffindor common room, in the painter, the woman in the singer in the painting, the opera singer who smashed that glass. That's Dawn French. Bloody animal. Anyway, so here she is. So they go in, have some fish and chips. He's looking. He can see. There we go. He can see where. Cause remember, her castle's between them two peaks. And saying, "Yeah, enjoy the scenery, are we? Blaming lummy." But because he knows what he's supposed to be doing. Anyway, right. So there we go. Fish and chips, just fish with some wood chips. Because the beavers, aren't they? Beavers eat wood? I don't know, but that's what they're having. Anyway, so they're telling them all about the prophecy. Apparently there's a prophecy that, some sons of Adam arrive and then the evil in Narnia will be gone, blah, blah, blah. But there's, Susan and Peter saying, well, it can't be about us, we're just kids, and all that. And talking about Aslan's return, because apparently Aslan's back. I don't know where he's been, but he's been, I don't know, away. Aslan's essentially God in Narnia. Because apparently from what I've read, he created Narnia. So he's God in it. Some said he's Jesus, same thing, whatever. Anyway, he's doing the prophecy. When Adam's flesh and Adam's bone sits at Care Paravel in throne, the evil time will be over and done. Done. But he says done. And she goes, that don't even really rhyme. Apparently that's from one of the other books. I don't know which one, but apparently it's from one of the other books, not this book. But anyway, so we've got 2 sons of Adam, 2 daughters of Eve, humans. So the prophecy is coming true. And there's an army, and there's going to be a war, and all that stuff. And Susan said, we were sent here so we wouldn't get caught up in a war. But anyway, we're not heroes, we're from Finchley. But anyway, so we've got to go then. Sorry, we can't help. Where's Edmund gone? He's buggered off. So he said, I'm going to kill him. So he's heading over to the Queen's castle without his fur coat for some reason. But anyway, off he goes, and it's getting dark. And they're following after him. And there we see the Queen's castle. Kind of looks a bit like the Fortress of Solitude, doesn't it? But anyway. And he's shouting out, Edmund! He said, stop it, they'll hear you. And we see him go in, a little dot of him going in. She wants, the witch wants all of you, to kill you. There you go. And then we see Edmund going into the castle. So he's gone. So they've got to go and find Aslan. Only Aslan can help them now. Edmund is with the enemy. So anyway, so going from Edmund's point of view now, we're seeing that in the White Queen's courtyard, there's lots of statues of creatures and soldiers and stuff like that. Apparently she's like a gorgon. She can turn people to stone, but she doesn't have snakes for her hair. She does it with a magic wand thing. Anyway, so he's looking at those. But he obviously doesn't know that they're real creatures that have been turned to stone. And then, and he steps over what he thinks is another one, and it's a wolf. It's a wolf, and I think this is I forgot his name already. What we just saw him in that thing. Hang on, it'll say here somewhere, won't it? Morgrim. There we go. I think that's Morgrim, voiced by Michael Madsen. I think the only American accent in the film. I think, only one I can think of. So he's saying, I'm here to see the Queen. I'm Edmund Pevensey or whatever. I'm a son of Adam. So he says, okay, come with me. So they go to see the Queen, and she's not happy. She said, why haven't you brought your brothers and sisters? You're rubbish. So I'm not happy. So when he realises that she's not a nice person, and they were all telling the truth, that she's wicked and all that. She's not the real Queen of Narnia. So basically she chucks him, not claps him in irons, but throws him in a cell. It throws him in the brig. But off they go. So got to go and find the bee, because he tells her everything, because he's an idiot. Essentially, he's Edmund. Tells her everything. We've been with the beavers and all that. So off they go to the beavers. Some of the wolves, I think, that we see, they're not wolves, they're huskies and malamutes and stuff like that, but real ones. But a lot of them, they had CG tails. They raised their tails because they were wagging their tails a lot and being all happy. So they give them CG tails. But anyway. Right, so here they go. They're going to get attacked any minute now. Here they go. They're trying to get in, and they've got to escape through a tunnel. There they go, through a tunnel. Block that off. What's happening here? I see some more creatures that have been turned to stone. Obviously, the White Queen's been up to stuff round here. Anyway. Here we go, because we come across a fox now. Here it is, a fox. I don't know if it has a name. Let's have a look. But it's voiced by Rupert Everett. Let's have a look. Just Mr. Fox. Who's working for Aslan, and he's a goodie. But obviously, because he's a fox, they think he's a baddie, but he's not. So he's got a message from Aslan, saying Aslan's got to... He's at the... I can't remember where. The tablet or whatever. Hang on, he says here somewhere. Hang on, where is it? It tells me in a minute. It might be later. But he's got to give him time to escape. So he distracts the wolves for a bit, and they rag him around a little bit, and they've climbed up a tree and they're out of the way, and the wolves go after nearly killing the fox, but He's okay. There we go. Aslan himself asked me to gather more troops, and he's waiting for you at somewhere. He does say somewhere. He does say where they're waiting. Pete's sake. Where the hell? He does say somewhere where it's to go and meet him. Hey, Mr. Beaver only has one bath a year, apparently, just like me. At Christmas. Whether I need it or not. No, I'm kidding. One at Easter as well. Come on, tell us where they're meeting. 'Cause I forgot where they said. Anyway, whatever. Right, so Edmund is there. Oh, he's clapped in irons. With some dry bread and water or whatever. I don't think he's not having Turkish delight, so he's not happy. And this is where he meets Mr. Tumnus for the first time, and Tumnus he's in irons as well. It's like they beat him up a bit as well. He's not looking happy, is he? And so he says, I'm Lucy's brother. So he's all sorry. And then the Queen comes in, and she's saying, you're no use to me now. I don't know anything. And she's gonna kill him. And Tumnus intervenes, and then she's going to kill Tumnus as well. And he says, "Stop!" And he says, "There are such and such a thing." I think the beavers had told them where. Not the fox didn't, and the beavers had told them. But hang on, it says somewhere. Any second. Bear with me. There he goes, saying he's resisting. I believe in a free Narnia. And he turned you in for sweeties. Is he going to say something? Oh, for Pete's sake. He does tell him. Come on, say it. Doing me head in. Right, just bear with me. I'm going to have to look it up. Just a moment. Stop playing. Just bear with me. I'm just looking something up. Where have I put it? Where have I put the blooming thing? Right, here we go. Now then. Come on, scroll, you damn thing. Rum-ti-tum-ti-tum. Here we go, right. The stone table, Aslan's camp. I couldn't remember stone table, I don't know, but that's where. But he tells her that. I'm sure he says that somewhere. Where the hell is it? He does tell her, but I don't know when. Where is it? I'm going to have to do a Control F. What do you mean you can't find it? Just bloody seeing it. Oh, for crying out loud. Hey, live telly, eh? Anyway, whatever, he does tell her about the stone table. And Tim Rose is here, saying classic book. Good day, mates. He'd been Australian. Maybe he's Australian, who knows? Right, anyway, back to the film. They take Tumnus away, essentially to his death. They're going to execute him, but leave Edmund there by himself. Meanwhile, they're coming. They've got Aslan's camp near the stone table on the other side of this lake, which is being frozen. Is that where it is up there? Must be. Across the frozen river. Been frozen for 100 years. But anyway, but because Aslan's back now, and I presume because they're here as well, the snows are starting to melt. But there's Tumnus. He's turned him to stone. Poor Tumnus is stone. So she's gonna, he's taking her to. She's gonna take him to her army or whatever. Right. So she's, as we see, she's in a sleigh. So not the only person that uses a sleigh. Anyway, right, so we see our heroes tromping across the frozen lake. And they hear the jingle jangle of, what are they saying on about Beaver who's going to turn him into a big fluffy hat that they're joking about. And he must have good ears because he overhears them. But anyway, there we go. They hear the jingle jangle of a sleigh. And we think, oh, it's the queen, the white witch. Run! And they've got ages to go. Miles and miles. Well, not miles, but a long way to go. I mean, it shows it. And then we see a sleigh, which is obviously a different sleigh to what the White Queen is using. And they're not that far, but they make it to the tree line, so they must be good at running on snow. They make it to the tree line, and they hide in this little hole. You know, if they think it's enemies, they can't really hide, can they? They're just going to follow the footprints in the snow, aren't they? Not very good at hiding, is it, in snow? Because you'll get found straight away. But anyway, whatever. But it's not the White Witch, Queen, whatever. It's not Jadis. It's Santa Claus, because Beaver goes and checks, and he comes back, says it's okay, there's somebody here wants to see you, and we see that it's Santa Claus. If it's going to bloody show him, there he is. Not looking very Coca-Cola Santa, but never mind. Played by James Cosmo, who's been in loads of stuff. I always think of him as Angus in Highlander, Connor's cousin. Can you walk, Connor? I can bloody well walk out of here. That fella, it's him. Anyway, he's got some presents, because Aslan's back and they're here. Christmas has returned to Narnia for the first time in 100 years. So it's all happening. So he gives out presents. Now, he gives Lucy a vial of liquid, and he says, one drop will heal any injury. And I'd be thinking, I'd be saying, does it have instructions? Because that's a bit vague. We'll get to that later. But, do you apply it to the wound? Because it will heal any injury. Do you apply it to the wound? Do you drink it? Is it a suppository? Who knows? Doesn't say. You've got to work it out for yourself. Anyway, it gives her that. One drop will cure any injury. But don't tell her any more than that. Then he gives her a little dagger as well. And he says, hope I'll be brave enough. And he says, through you will, but battles are ugly affairs. And he gives to Susan I can't speak. Bow and arrow, a bow and the quiver of arrows. That's what he gives her. And she's a quick study, because she becomes quite good with that bow and arrow. She's almost as good as Marvel's Katie in Shang-Chi. And he also gives her a horn to blow on. So he said, if you blow it, help will come. There you go. Peter gets a big sword. I don't know if he gets anything else. They got two things, didn't he? Pardon me. He just gets a sword with an inscription on it. And it says, because that's in my notes on the inscription, but I can't remember. The inscription on the blade of Peter's sword reads, when Aslan shakes his mane, Narnia shall know spring again. I don't really rank, 'cause it's again, isn't it? But never mind. So he's got a nice sword. Right, so on a shield as well. Right, so he's off to deliver more presents, because it must be Christmas Eve, maybe. So maybe it is a Christmas film after all. But there we go. Long live Aslan, bye Santa, off he goes. I wonder if they're, the actual reindeer. Rudolph and Comet and Donner and Blitzen and the others. Right. Told you he was real. He is real, he's Santa Claus. Anyway, right, so they're still on their way. That's just somebody they've met along the way, thankfully. So now they've got weapons and stuff. They're geared up. But I said the snows are starting to melt, and they've got to get across this river now, like it's an ice wall, isn't it? That's like a face, that, doesn't it? Where's the thing? Now I've got to find it now. Is this where it was filmed in America? I've seen it somewhere. Where is it? Or maybe not. No, it ain't. Oh yes, Glacier National Park. So maybe where some of these shots are filmed there. I don't know. In Montana. I don't know. But anyway. So they've got to get across there, but see all the ice is starting to melt, so got to be careful. But as they're going across, the wolves arrive, I think. By the way, this is the White Queen, and as we can see that, and it shows, oh Pete's sake, they're trying to get across. By the way, the wolves are there. Where's the bloody Queen? Where is he going to show it? Just saw it with Edmund there. There it is. You notice she's not covering him up in her cloak anymore. He's cowering there in the cold. Because she's evil now and he knows it. Anyway, so they've got to get across here, past this ice waterfall, which is starting to melt. And the wolves arrive and they grab hold of Beaver. Here they come, the wolves. There they are, here come the wolves. There we go. He's got hold of him, look. Run him through, because Peter's pointing his sword at, I forgot his name again, Morgrim. Is that right? I can never remember. Yes, Morgrim, all right. Anyway, Peter notices that the ice is starting to melt. And here we go. He looks up and sees that water's starting to come through the waterfall. And so he thrusts his sword, Excalibur-like, into the ice and says, "Hold on to me," because he knows it's going to happen right now, apparently. But here it comes. Whoosh! Now they're going to go surfing. The beavers will be fine. But off they go. Down the river. They'll be in the frozen water, but, don't worry about that. They'll be fine. They won't die of exposure and hypothermia and all that. They're okay. But they think they've lost George. They think they've lost Lucy because he's got old Lucy's coat, and but it's they don't hold the suspense very long. Because has anyone seen? Look, Lucy, and then they suddenly hear a voice. Has anyone seen my coat? And she's fine. She's fine, but they're all gonna die of exposure or whatever, hypothermia. They think that get them wet clothes off and roll about in the snow or whatever. You know what the SAS tell you to do. Oh dear. I saw the Top Gear North Pole special. Anyway, right. So look, it's all starting to get all green now. Look, it's not winter anymore in some places. Apparently her dress changes colour with her moods. The angrier she gets, the darker her dress becomes. It started out white, didn't it? And now it's getting darker and darker as the film goes on. And I think it's nearly black when we get to the end. I think. It's as though her dress is part of her, not something she's wearing. Anyway, right, so here's this fox again, causing a delay in her, and she's going to turn him into a statue. This is where he grasses up, because he says to her, don't hurt the fox. The beaver said something about the stone table, and Aslan's arm is there, and so she says, "Oh, very good." But then she turns the fox into a statue anyway. No, there we go. Poor Mr. Fox. Anyway, right, so she's got to gather her army now. Anyway, so they're going to arrive. Here they are at Aslan's army. I think this is New Zealand, I think we're in now. Then we'll be seeing, where is it? Centaurs and stuff. Lots of magical creatures we're going to see now. We see that there's like the plants. I don't know what they're called. Are these like nymphs or whatever? I don't know what they're called. The plants turn. She looks round. Look, see the blossom from this tree forms into a person that waves at her. We see them again later. Anyway, right. So they're arriving now. Here's all the warriors, more fawns, satyrs, whatever. And other stuff, and they're all excited to see them. And now we're going to meet Aslan. Here he comes. Here comes Aslan. I'm here to see Aslan. So out he comes. Look, they're all bowing and stuff. There he is. There's Aslan. He's a lion. Who knew? Voiced by Liam Neeson. Who else did they want? By the way, Tilda Swinton was their first choice to play Jadis, the Queen. But apparently Kate Winslet, Michelle Pfeiffer and Nicole Kidman were also considered. But apparently Tilda Swinton was the first choice. And who else were going to be Aslan? I forgot. Brian Cox. Brian Cox was originally going to voice Aslan. But didn't do it. I'm guessing Brian Cox the actor, not Brian Cox the astronomer. But anyway. And in the French and Italian versions, Aslan was dubbed by Omar Sharif. So there you go. Right, where were we? So out he comes with his cool. It's Qui-Gon Jinn, isn't it? Here he is.
Welcome, Peter, son of Adam.
Whenever I hear Liam Neeson or Ian McKellen, I always think of Charlie Hopkinson, and he does his Star Wars and Lord of the Rings YouTube videos, comedy things, doesn't he? Where they're all watching the film. Gandalf reacts to this, that, or Qui-Gon Jinn reacts to such and such. I always think of those. He does them deep fake videos, doesn't he? And impressions of Liam Neeson and Ian McKellen, they're really good. Anyway, I always think of him. But anyway, right, so here we go, saying, where's the fourth? Where's Edmund? Oh, he's with the White Witch. This is where they say he's a traitor. And I thought, well, it's not really. He was like duped by her, wasn't he? He didn't think she were evil because she were giving him hot chocolate and Turkish delight. But I want to see Matt Berry as Aslan now. From New York City. Is that Matt Berry? Is it him from What We Do in the Shadows and within the IT crowd? But Connery would have been a good. Yes, he would have been a good Aslan, wouldn't he? Splendid. I'm Aslan. Yes. Anyway, but it was going to be Gandalf, wasn't it? And he didn't get it. But didn't understand it, apparently. So he wouldn't have understood. But saying that, though, he was a dragon, wasn't he, in Dragonheart? He understood that well enough. Whatever. Anyway, so they say he's betrayed him, he's a traitor, and all that. But not really. But they said, no, he's not. We were all too hard on him. He's our younger brother. But anyway, and Aslan says, I will do my best to get him back. By me. So while they're waiting for that to happen, Peter's glancing over at Cair Paravel, the shining castle in the distance. I wonder if C.S. Lewis and J.R. Tolkien, compared place names, because it's a very, Middle-earthy kind of name, isn't it? Anyway. That's pretty good. He turned it down. Would have got it. It probably would. Anyway, so saying, that's where you will sit as king, High King, no less. I'm only a kid and all that stuff. But we all have our destiny, etc. That's what he's telling him. There we go. We've all got a destiny to live for. And he said, I will do what I can to help your brother, blah, blah, blah. And there we see, he's a prisoner, he's tied up. And they're going to go and save him. In a minute now. Aslan sends some of his centaurs and stuff. He understood Highlander. Yes, he did. He did, didn't he? Wingray says, Hi, King, promoting drug use in a children's movie. Yeah, I'm the High King, man. Yeah, cosmic. Dear. Oh, press wrong thing. Apparently, not about taking drugs, but apparently, because obviously the main characters are children, essentially. I think she was about 17 when she made this, I think. But and William Moseley, I think, is a year older than her. But the kids, and Georgie Hensley, is that a name? I can never remember her name. Georgie Hensley. Is it Hensley or Henley? Georgie Henley had a swear box because apparently the cast and the crew kept swearing on set, and so she got a swear box. And apparently James McAvoy swore the most, and Skandar Keynes he swore quite a bit as well. Naughty boy. Have I got it? I've got it in my notes. Let's have a look, see if it says anything. I might not have it in my notes. By the way, the film was shot more or less in chronological order, which is weird, isn't it? But I don't know how, because like there'd be some studio bits, weren't there, and some on location things. So you'd thought at a location, when they're on location, they can't go to locate, shoot a scene at one, like in Poland, and then go to New Zealand to shoot the next scene, and then come back to Poland. They can't do it like that because they do move about a bit, so they can't be all in chronological order. But that's what they said. For some reason, I sounded like Terry Wogan then. I don't know why. But all in chronological order. Anyway, where were we? They're doing a bit of bonding. Is Lucy and Susan, and they're going to start splashing water at each other. There we go. But then some baddies come, I think, in a minute. Here we go. The wolves. The wolves have come any minute now. There they are. Is it Morgrim? Morgrim's come. Easier shooting order when you have growing kids. Essentially, yes, because apparently Skandar Keynes grew 6 inches while they were filming it. So I don't know if you can tell the difference. If I hadn't read it, I wouldn't have noticed. But apparently he grew 6 inches during filming. So he's obviously taller at the end. And not just because we see him grown up at the end, I mean the kid. But anyway. But the part... spoilers, when they come back out of the wardrobe at the end, that's the shot that earlier on. Apparently because they wanted them to look pale, because they shot that all the stuff in England first with the wardrobe, and they're supposed to be with the professor, and they're supposed to be in England, so they were all pale skinned, but now they're being off in New Zealand and stuff, and getting all night in the countryside, getting tanned and stuff. So they shot them scenes earlier. But anyway. Right, so here we go. They're climbing a tree. The wolves are trying to get them. Here comes Peter, and he does take one of them out. Why, yes, this is Peter's battle, says Aslan. But anyway, Peter sorts this wolf out. I think this is Morgrim. Here we go, and Morgrim just jumps on his sword. But anyway. So he's killed Morgrim. Peter's fine. The other wolf runs off, look. With its CG tail. Is it going to show it? What did... There we go. Oh, Pete's head. With its CG tail. Probably a real wolf, dog, whatever, running off. But its tail will be wagging, having fun. Anyway. Right, so this is where he sends... his centaur, general, whatever, off to follow the wolf. He'll lead you to Peter. They're going to go save Peter. So anyway, and now he knights Peter. Now Sir Peter, Knight of Narnia. So anyway, right. So meanwhile, back at Jadis's camp, they're gearing up for war. So it's not exactly Saruman and his orc army, is it, and all that, but whatever. Here we go. We see that. Is it going to show it? Actually, I've missed it. Here we go. So suddenly, there we go. They easily get him. They just arrive. There we go. They're at the centaur and the other goodies, and then suddenly. They go to check on him, and he's gone, and I forgot his name already. Kieran Shah is tied up, and he thinks she's going to kill him, but she don't. She don't kill him. But anyway, so she's going to go and see Aslan. Anyway, right. So, but they've got Edmund back. Edmund's having a little chat with Aslan. I don't know what Aslan's telling him, but he's saying. You're a very naughty boy. But he knows he's done wrong, and he's now back on our side again. He's not a traitor anymore, but I wouldn't have called him a traitor. I'd have just called him a kid, because they're all kids, essentially, aren't they? Anyway, there you go. What's done is done, says Aslan. And so they all embrace, and it's all lovely, and all that. Try not to wander off. Look, they're all big, being a big brother and all that. So... they're eating, And Peter wants to send the girls and Edmund back through the wardrobe. He's going to stay and help Aslan defeat the defeat Jadis, but they say no, we're not going anywhere. Anyway, but I think they're practicing their weapons now. She can fire a bow, and there we go. Not a bad shot, I suppose, for a first go. But we learn that Lucy's a dab hand with a throwing knife, because she gets the throwing knife. There we go, boing, bang, centre. Kids. Right, so. It's where we learn that Edmund's got a horse called Philip that can talk. There we go. My name is Philip. Oh dear. Right, so we learn that Jadis is coming to see Aslan because she wants to claim Edmund for some reason. There you go. You have a traitor in your midst, and he's mine essentially. But she has a legal right over him or something, and if they don't give him up, it's against the laws of Narnia, which Aslan must have written because he created Narnia apparently. But if they don't give him up, Narnia will burn or whatever. But traitors belong to her. So he says, we will speak. So come into my tent and we will speak. So they obviously come to some agreement. Aslan comes out and says, she has given up her claim to Edmund, and off she goes. But is given something back in return. She says, how do I know you will give me what I deserve or whatever? There you go. How do I know your promise will be kept? And he roars at her. They all think it's all fun and games and happy, but there is a price to pay. Anyway, so there it goes, all happy and stuff. By the way, there were a dog somewhere in this scene. Let me see if I can find it. And Cyclopses. Where's this dog? That's I think it's behind Edmund in some of the shots. And in the commentary, they kept going on about this. It's like a CG dog that's in the background. Where the bloody hell is it? Is it? I think it's this bit. See if I can find it. They said it's so expressive. Is this dog? Come on, show us the dog. It's not this bit, is it? It must be later. It must be another bit. Anyway, I'll point it out if I see it. This dog. Anyway, right, so what's happening now? Can't really remember. Yes. They wake up, there's Lucy and Susan, they hear footsteps, and it's Aslan's going off to, essentially, the price is to pay for Edmund's freedom. Basically, Aslan's going to sacrifice himself to the White Witch. So anyway, they're following him through the woods. He obviously knows, and says, shouldn't you two be in bed? So anyway, he allows them to walk along with him. Apparently it's a CG lion. Apparently it's got 5 million hairs in his mane. I've got it here. I'm sure it's in my notes. I'm sure it is. Where is it? Took approximately 10 hours to render each frame of the CGI Aslan and his 5.2 million individual hairs. So there you go. But anyway. Right, so they're off, they're talking with him, and so he's got to go on alone, but they still follow him. I think he knows that they're going to follow him, but, they're not supposed to. So anyway, so off he goes to to Jadis's army. Here they are with all the bad creatures of Narnia. That's it, like Cyclopses and God knows what there is, trolls and stuff, and all that. That werewolf, I don't know, but there's a harpy as well somewhere. That freaking out. That's supposed to be a harpy or something. That's freaking out, isn't it? Whatever it is. But anyway, so you see, her dress is getting darker and darker, isn't it, as the film goes on. So right, so he's giving himself up. This is, I don't know his name. Maybe it'll say. But he's like her general. Minotaur, whatever you want to call it. There you go. He gives Aslan a big old whack. Don't know what that is. Saying, why doesn't he fight back? He's asking Lucy. Obviously, because he knows what's going to happen. There's Aslan. They tie him up. This is, when they tie him up, it's an animatronic lion created by KNBFX. Greg Nicotero and all them. Who are more famous for their work in like The Walking Dead and the zombies and stuff out there. They did the animatronics, at least the animatronic lion for this. And but it's got like CG eyes or whatever. It's CG enhancements, but it is an animatronic lion. And she says, shave him, so they shave off his mane. There we go, shaving off his mane. And then she stabs him with, I think it's supposed to be like an obsidian dagger. We see this dagger that she's got. It doesn't look like metal, it looks like obsidian or something. I don't know, God knows what that is. And Adam Gamer's here. Good evening, Adam. Go and subscribe to Adam Gamer's channel. He does live streams regularly, and Wingrace as well. I've no idea what they are. And some wild boar creature. I don't know. But anyway, so she stabs him. She killed him. He's giving himself up. So much for love, she says, and she stabs him, and that's it. Aslan is dead. When she gets round to it, there we go. There we go. Plunges the knife into Aslan, and he dies, and they're all sad. Well, they are, and she's not. But her eyes have gone right black look now, because she's evil. Apparently she had lighter eyes. I wasn't paying attention, but they've gone dark now. And the bugger off they go. To do their battling, off they go. A warring. And just leave Aslan there, unattended. Didn't even, burn the body or anything, just leave him there, thankfully. So Lucy and Susan can come and mourn him. So there we go. So they're all sad. And she's going to use. Remember, Santa gave her them drops. It'll cure any injury, but Susan says it's too late. He's dead. It'll be no good. I thought, well, I could try it anyway, but no, that's too easy. But at least they referenced it. I'd have forgot all about it, to be honest. But anyway. But she's saying, look, he must have known what he was doing, but he's dead, and it's all sad. And this, I don't know if this is the scene where Georgie Henley couldn't cry, so she started crying, and so they're all girls together crying, whatever. But I'm crying as well. But and then we see some mice. Here we go, some mice on Aslan, and Susan says, "Oh, get off him, get away!" But apparently they didn't have them in the same shot together, because apparently Anna Popplewell is terrified of mice. So they got like a stand-in to when we see part of her with the mice. I don't know, but or she's not there. She's just not there when the mice are there. But yeah, she's terrified of mice. But they're not doing anything. They're eating through his bonds. So he's now free of his bonds, even though he's dead. So they're all sad. And he says, we've got to tell the others that Aslan's gone, and they need to know. But it's apparently they're a really long way away from where all this battle's going to happen. Any minute now. It'll take us too long. He says, well, the trees will help. Remember that blossom woman that appeared earlier on? They're going to use that. There we go. Leaves rustling. There we go. These are going to tell him that Aslan's dead. There we go. They arrive. Look, tell Peter. Be still, my prince. I have a message. There we go. Be still, my princes. Grave news from your sisters. So the news spreads that Aslan's dead. And now Peter is in charge of the army. Crikey. If I remember that, I've slightly more experience in these things, sire. I'll take charge. You just hang about. No, I'm a kid. I can do it. It's a story. It's fine. But Edmund says Peter can do it. Peter, says, they're ready to follow you, and so am I. They all trust you. So do I. Aslan believed in you, and so do I. That's what he says. So Anyway, because it's all about family. Should have had Vin Diesel in it. Anyway, so we're looking at a map, a very Middle-earthy map. So, who did Tolkien's maps? I know he did some of them himself. I think his son did them, didn't he? I think was it Christopher Tolkien that did his maps. I wonder if he did C.S. Lewis's maps. Don't know. Or maybe he did his own maps. I don't know. But they do look very similar to the Middle-earth maps, don't they? Anywho, so he's working out the strategy. So the field of battle. Here we go. Here it is. They are all assembling now. He's got his armour on. Look on his. He's got even riding a unicorn. Right. So here we go. The goody troops are assembling. Edmund is above with it. He's got archers and stuff. He's doing that. We've got griffins and all sorts, and we're going to see a phoenix later. And look, they've got cheetahs and rhinos. They're the goody animals. Don't know why rhinos and cheetahs are good animals, and the ones we see on the other side are bad animals, like polar bears. I don't know, but anyway, whatever. But here come the baddies. There they go. They got a Minotaur. Does he have a name? I don't know. Does it tell us? Here we go. General Otmin, voiced by Shane Rangi. A Minotaur, whatever. Minotaur! Chase, Sinbad and the Eye of the Tiger. A Minotaur is second in command of Jadis's army. And the Centaur, who is second in command of Aslan's army, is General Areus, voiced by, played by Patrick Cake, Kake. I won't say khaki. Anyway, so the baddies are coming now. Here we go. Roar! Here they come. Troops assembling, and as you see, she's got polar bears pulling this time, and not reindeers, because I don't know, the snow's gone. I don't know, but then why polar bears? Don't know. And they're going to go on to the Golden Compass after this. But anyway, as you can see, she's wearing Aslan's mane, which I didn't realise at first, to be honest. When I've seen this a few times, I've never really, it hadn't twigged with me that she's wearing Aslan's mane. I only realised when they said in the commentary. But, because I'm an idiot. Anyway, so here they come. Getting ready for battle. Prepare for battle, as Sir Ian McKellen might say. Right, so, horn blowing, off they go, charge, etc. It's a red day, death, and all that stuff. Look, she's even done a makeup ready for battle. So off they go, charging, and all that stuff. Right, so there we go. Pretty good battle, must admit. For a kids' film. It is pretty cool. Oh my, they have the eagles and what else? I forgot what they said. Griffins and stuff flying over, dropping big rocks on them. There we go, on the bad guys. Cool, but they're firing arrows at them, etc. To the death for Narnia and Aslan, charge, go, off they go. So here we go. The battle begins. This is in New Zealand, by the way. That looks weird, doesn't it? Never mind. So anyway, that's it. Armies clash. Anyway, meanwhile, back with Aslan. They're still all being sad. I said, it must be away, because we can't hear what's going on in this battle. How long were they walking? How long were they following Aslan for? I don't know. Or is where the battle's happening a long way from the camp? It must be. I don't know. Because they were looking at a map, weren't they? So maybe they'd gone the fair way. Because they can't hear, and you can't hear the distant battle going off, which you think you would, wouldn't you? But anyway. Right, so there we go, they're heading off, so they're going to leave him there. But suddenly everything shakes, and the wind howls, and it all shakes. Look, oh, what's happened? And they look round, and the stone table's broken, and Aslan's gone. Dun, dun, dun. And then the sunrise or whatever comes through the clouds, and Aslan is back again, reborn. But how? Because they're both into deep magic. Jadis knows the deep magic, but Aslan knows the deeper magic from the beginning of the earth, and she didn't understand it properly because Aslan is essentially innocent, I suppose you could say, and he died saving a traitor or something. Oh, it says here, look at that. When a willing victim who has committed no treachery is killed in a traitor's stead, the stone tablet will crack. Stone table, sorry, will crack. Well, go on, say. And even death itself will turn backwards. So I'm just glad he knew about that. But anyway. But we sent the news that you were dead. Well, you only live twice, Mr. Bond. Right, so they've got to get another army. So they're gonna run over to Jadis's castle. Because remember, she's got all them stone people in her castle courtyard. They're gonna go and Aslan apparently he's got magic powers because he knows the deeper magic. He can free him. Anyways, the battle's still going on. Here we go. They're sending in now. Where is it? There we go. A phoenix. Is it Fawkes? Is it Dumbledore's phoenix? Maybe it is, but there it goes. There it goes. Turns into fire, and there we go. Sets a big blaze, but it doesn't do much because she just rides through it like that, puts it out. So that didn't do much, did it? I need a drink. Hang on, I'll have a drink of me JD and Coke. Oh dear, we're nearly there. Right, so I think they're retreating back to the rocks. I think that's what it says, retreat back to the rocks. So they're going to fight in some rocky areas now. But they're running to the Queen's castle. Here we go, they're retreating. Firing arrows. Oh, look, see that volley of arrows then. Cool, like Henry V. Anyway, Arraius, is that his name? Arraius, the centaur chap, sees the Jadis coming and thinks, right, I'm going to have her, and he and the rhino decide to go charging in. But he's saying, stop, it's Peter. I don't know why, but it just is. But they're going. The rhino gets got pretty quickly, to be honest. Have I missed it? Have I gone past it? There we go. It like falls over. I don't know why it fell over. I don't know. It just fell over, didn't it? For nothing. and they just pounce on it and it don't get back up. But anyway, Arraius carries on. He takes out I forgot his name already. The Minotaur. Otmin. He takes out Otmin. With two swords, stabs them into him in a minute. Where is it? Come on. There we go. There we go. So that's the end of Otmin, I think. And he's gonna get the Queen, and he jumps over. There we go. But she gets him, and turns him to stone. And then we cut to that. We cut to the Queen's castle. And I thought, hang on, is that Arraius then? Is he magically transported to her castle? But I don't think he has. I think it's just a similar chap that's there. So they've arrived now, and then she sees Tumnus there turned to stone, and Aslan breathes on him. There you go. And he turns back, and he's fine. There we go. And so the guru goes around breathing on everybody else. And it's not cat breath, like. It's not nice, is it? Anyway, so they've got their army, so they're heading back. And it looks like, they're retreating, aren't they, the good guys? It looks like the bad guys might be winning this battle. And Peter says to Edmund, get out of here. Go and find Susan and Lucy and get out of here. But obviously he doesn't listen, because Peter's going to go after the White Witch. It was a queen and witch at the same time. She's a quitch. Oh dear. He's going to go after her. Is that of Lord of the Rings? A wag. Is that a wag? It looks like one, doesn't it? I bet it ain't. It just looks like. Oh no, it's I don't know what it is. That's a boar, isn't it? Is that a goodie bar? I don't know which is which. I don't know which are the goodie animals and baddie animals. I don't know, but anyway. So Peter's going to go and get Jadis, and Edmund's had an idea. Look, he's fighting his way towards her. She's moving towards him. But hang on. But before she raises up her magic wand thing, staff, whatever it is, spear, that thing there. The thing that turns people into stone. There you go. He comes jumping down and smashes it. Well, does in a minute. Smashes it. There we go. So she ain't got her magic thing now. So she can't turn anybody into stone. But she can stab. There we go. She can stab Edmund in the gut with it. So there we go. So he goes, Edmund. So he's going to fight her now. So he starts fighting with the Queen, and it's an okay fight. It's no Lord of the Rings or anything, but it's fine. But here comes Aslan and his army. We hear roaring, and he comes leaping out, just like Mufasa. Should have had James Earl Jones doing the voice, shouldn't they? But anyway. So here they are, the other army. They arrive, and so he carries on fighting her, and it's like she's gonna beat him. There we go. She stabs him in the eye. I don't know if she stabbed him or just pinned him to the ground. I think she's just pinned him to the ground through his chainmail, hasn't she? And but she's gonna get him now. But I'm gonna say Mufasa. Aslan leaps over, knocks her down, and basically eats her. Essentially, it doesn't show it, but he has a little moment. They look at each other. She's thinking, he won't kill me, and he thinks, he won't kill her. It's a kids' film, and then he kills her, but he doesn't show it. And then he does something. I don't get what Peter's doing here. It's like he throws something. Should something have happened here? I don't know. Look, he does that. Look, that throws that sword over there. Was something supposed to happen then that we didn't see? I don't know, but anyway. Or is it? Hang on. Because it's not the sword. No, because it was in front of him. Just bear with me. As he's killing. No, because it's not. Because it was on that side of his arm, wasn't it? Not that side, sure, that's it. And that is pulling that out from under his arm. Whatever. I think it's the one that was pinning him down, isn't it? That's what he's pulling out there. Anyway, so Jadis is no more. Aslan's killed her, and for some reason it's showing everybody rushing by him in this weird blurry thing. I don't know why. Is it supposed to show that time slowed down for him or something? Because he's so shocked at Aslan. Oh God, what the hell that was then? That Aslan's just ripped somebody's throat out in front of him. I don't know, but anyway. He ain't got blood round his chops though, has he? He should have come round. Like when you see a lion's done a kill on the Serengeti or whatever, and there's all blood round the mouth and their maw. It should have been like that, shouldn't it? But anyway, so basically they're just mopping up now. They've won the day. The goodies have won. I assume the baddies are either dead or they're running off into the wherever, back to Mordor or wherever they're going. But Edmund's dying. Look, he's being stabbed. So where's Edmund? So she comes running over. Oh, but meanwhile, there's forgot his name again. I'm going to keep wanting to say Grimlock. I know it's not that. Ginnebrick. Ginnebrick's there. Not Deep Roy, we'll call him. He's going to get Edmund, because he's never liked him, has he? But luckily, Susan's there, and she gets him with a bow and arrow. There we go. She shoots an arrow into the little get. Anyway, so they run over to Edmund, and Lucy gets a magic potion out, and drops it. Oh, is it going to show it? Where the hell are we? There we go. One drop, and this is where I've been wanting instructions. Is it supposed to be, on his wound, or is it, as I said, orally? And for all she knows, it could seal his mouth up, couldn't it? For all we know. Anyway, but apparently it works. So he's fine, he's healed, he's better, and they're all happy. And they go, when are you going to learn to do as you're told? That's what he said at the beginning, didn't he, when they were in the Anderson shelter. But this time it's a happy thing because they're family. Family. But anyway. And Aslan breathes on this fella. There we go, makes him better. So Lucy's got to go round now with her little post, one drop, and I hope she doesn't run out. She's going to go around curing everybody that's injured, and Aslan's going around breathing on all the people that she turned to stone, the quitch. and then we have a dissolve. There we go, to some mermaids, and we're going to Cair Paravel. There it is, Cair Paravel, where we're having a coronation. Here they are. It's going to be the kings and queens of Narnia. And it's going to tell us what they call him. Queen Lucy the Valiant. It tells us what part of Narnia they're going to rule. Does it say? Was it? To the glistening eastern sea, I give you Queen Lucy the Valiant. So she gets a little tiara any minute now. There it is. To the great western wood, King Edmund the Just. Is he just? I don't know. Maybe because he's only just a king. To the radiant southern sun, so they get like a quarter of Narnia each. Queen Susan the Gentle, and to the clear northern sky, King Peter the Magnificent. I thought, steady on. But anyway. So there we go. So they've now got kings and queens of Narnia. So Aslan can bugger off now. Because he was the king, wasn't he? He was the king of Narnia. But it doesn't have to be now. I'm not sure what's happened here. What's going on here? They kind of just look and laugh. And I don't understand what's going on. Who's drawn this on this lion? I don't get it. It doesn't explain it. I don't think it does. I don't get it. I'm confused. Oh, what it? Hang on. At the beginning, right? No, I think I do get it. Now I'm thinking on. When Edmund first got to the Queen's castle and there were, he saw the statues. He must have drawn, because we saw him doing something with one of the statues, and this lion must have been one, the lioness or whatever, must have been one of the statues. And Peter must have drawn glasses and a moustache on it. That must have been what he was doing. And now we're seeing it. It's still got the glasses and moustache on. I'm guessing that's what's happened there. Anyway, so long live the kings and queens, blah, blah, blah. It's all happy. Look, Aslan's sodding off. He's walking down the beach. And Lucy's watching. And Tumnus says, don't worry, he'll be back. When he's ready. He'll come back and then he'll disappear again. But, he'll be around. We'll see him again. And they're not thinking, should we be going home now? They're not thinking that at all. Because they're probably thinking the professor's going to murder us to death. Because we put a cricket ball through his stained glass window. So I think, better to stay here rather than just having worrying about where the kids have gone. I know it doesn't matter in the end, but never mind. She gives him his. She gives her his. He gives her handkerchief back. Right. So anyway, then we cut to 15 years later. It doesn't actually say, but apparently it is 15 years later. They're all grown up, but they're still hanging out together, and they're chasing a white deer. Is it a white hart? Through the woods, and there is a reason for it. I think it's in my notes. I'm sure I've got it somewhere. At the end of the film, when the grown-up leads go hunting, the importance of the white stag is never mentioned. The stag was supposed to be magical and grant a wish to its possessor. So there, because that's why they're after it. The kings and queens wanted to acquire its power. Sounds a bit dark, doesn't it? So they chased it themselves and even reached the outer border of Narnia with the lamppost. So that's what they're doing. So they're chasing after it. Apparently it was Edmund's idea. But anyway, see, they're all grown up now. They're all grown up. but they've lost it. Philip's catching his breath because he says, "You all right, Philip? Remember the horse? It's Snape's Patronus. Going to ward off some dementors." Anyway, so there's Peter looking very Barry Gibb. No, never mind. It's a male. Harry's then. I don't know. Whatever. Anyway, they find themselves the back of the lamppost. Obviously, they didn't recognise the area because it's not covered in snow anymore. It's the lamppost is there. So they're not sure. They remember it from something. Remember, 15 years have passed. So have they forgotten pretty much all about their previous lives? Probably. I don't know. But it's spare. Ooh, that rings a bell. And then Lucy goes running off through the woods, and they're following her through the trees, and they end up in the wardrobe, and they all fall out, and they're back to being kids again. And this was filmed at the beginning. Probably the only bit that's filmed out of sequence. That probably doesn't make sense if you only watch the movies. I haven't even watched the movies. Anyway, so no time's passed. They've been there for 15 years, and no time's passed when they've come back. So that's a weird one, isn't it? So what happens if they go back? Or can they go back? No, they can't. We'd learned that they can't go back through that wardrobe. But I can't remember what happens in Prince Caspian, which is the next one, isn't it? But anyway, whatever. But the professor's there with the cricket ball in his hand and says, "There you are." He says, "What you been up to?" He says, "You wouldn't believe us if we told you, sir." And then he says, "Try me." And it ends. There we go. Try me. Because we know he's been there. But we don't know that in this film. But he has. He's been to Narnia. And somewhere else as well. And there you go. There the film ends. I don't think there's an end credits. I don't think there's an end scene, is there? No, it just ends. So there we go. I like it. I think it's really good. And I can't remember if I like the others. I don't think I've seen Dawn Treader. But I've seen Prince Caspian. And I can't remember if I like that one. But this one is a really good film. I really like Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe. It's a good family flick. And really well made. And it keeps your interest all the way through. It's not a short film. It's like 2 hours and 20 minutes or thereabouts. But it's not Lord of the Rings length. But anyway, so there we go. It is a good film. There's some good performances from the kids. I'm not a big fan of child actors, and these aren't too bad. They're slightly posh, but not too posh. And the voice actors from Liam Neeson and Ray Winston, cool blimey governor, and Dawn French and all the others are good. And Tilda Swinton's always good in anything she's in. I'm a Tilda Swinton fan. I think she's good as Tilda Swinton, even in Doctor Strange, which I'm not a huge fan of that film, but she was even good in that. I liked her in Constantine. She played Gabriel in Constantine. That's my favourite Tilda Swinton role. But anyway, so there we go. As I said, it moves on to Prince Caspian, doesn't it? And then Voyage of the Dawn Treader, which I've not seen. Apparently they're going to do, Netflix is doing, is it The Magician's Nephew? I'm sure I've seen it, and it's coming out next year. I've never seen it. Bear with me. I read it somewhere. I can't remember where I read it. Chronicles of Narnia. Just bear with me. Magician's Nephew. Adaptations. Bum, 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 bum. Where is it? I don't say that. I've seen it somewhere. Next year, a Netflix version of Magician's Nephew is coming out, and it's going to be in theatres on November 25th, 2026, and then on Netflix on December 25th, 2026. I don't know where I read it. I read it somewhere. I could have sworn it were on Wikipedia, but it doesn't say it there. Whatever. So that's next year. I don't know what the other books are. Anyway, never mind. He says, "Oh, are they? I heard they were doing a TV show." I've no idea. Maybe it's all wrong then, I don't know. Let's Narnia TV show. See what that says. What does that say? Chronicles of Narnia TV series. Well, the one in the 80s. That's that one. That's all it says for that one. Chronicles of Narnia Netflix's adaptation. Hang on, bear with me. Latest updates on Greta Gerwig's Narnia movie. In the first piece of casting news for the project, this is from... Where's this from, by the way? Looking for the date. Is there a date on it? Can't see. Why isn't there a date on it? I'm on Backstage. Oh, April... Oh. It said April 1st, 2025. Is it a joke? I don't know. We'll say no. This is from this year, anyway. Where were we? I've lost it now. First piece of casting news for the project. Deadline reports that 3-time Grammy winner Charlie XCX is in talks to join Gerwig's Narnia in a key role. I've never heard of that person. Academy Award winning actress, it says actor, I always say actress, Meryl Streep is also rumoured to be joining the project, according to sources. Oh, yes, I read this. Streep is in talks to play Aslan. What? The great lion who serves as Narnia's guardian in the franchise. Liam Neeson previously voiced the character in the 2000s Narnia film trilogy. At this time, Netflix, this is April, hasn't confirmed Streep's involvement in the new film. But yes, I remember reading that Meryl Streep were going to be Aslan. In January 2025, Netflix announced that Gerwig's Narnia project would hit IMAX theatres on Thanksgiving Day 2026. And that's all that, it'll be on Netflix on December, on Christmas Day. Yeah, film would debut on Netflix a month later on Christmas. About a TV show. I can't see anything about a TV series. Not a new one, anyway. So there we go. So that's that. Right, so we'll leave it there. Done and dusted. Chronicles of Narnia, Lion the Witch of the Wardrobe. Really, really good film. Go and watch it. It's on Amazon, isn't it? It'll be on Disney Plus, won't it? I'll put links in the description for where you can see it. It'll be on Disney Plus, won't it? If you subscribe to that, but it'll be on Amazon and YouTube. You can rent or buy it from there, or there's other ways to see. Get the DVD, but don't, like I did, I didn't realise we had it. So I went down, I don't know where we put it. Just bear with me. I went down to the local shop, CEX it's called. I can't remember what CEX stands for. Summit Exchange. Anyway, it's where you can buy second-hand films and games, DVDs, Blu-rays, games, etc. I went down there and I saw it for £1.50. Chronicles of Narnia, Lion the Witch of the Wardrobe. Got home, opened the box up, no bloody disc in it. No bloody disc. Oh, you can't see it. Never mind. No disc in it. So, oh, for God's sake. Anyway, but then I went rooting about in my son's room and found that we had it. With a disc in, obviously. He's got all 3 of them in his room. He didn't tell me. Kids, eh? Anyway. Get all the streaming services of their dirt cheap Black Friday sales, but don't forget to cancel before auto-renew. Have they been having sales? I've never noticed. I've just subscribed to MGM Plus on Amazon and Shudder on Amazon. Because there's a couple of my films that are coming up that I've only been able to find on Amazon, on Shudder. Christmas Bloody Christmas and Ginger Dead Man. They're on Amazon. I haven't been able to find physical copies of those, but never mind. Right, so we'll leave it there. We're all done and dusted. We'll leave it there. I enjoyed that. What's coming up next? What day are we on? Monday? Wednesday? I don't know what I'm doing on Wednesday. We'll see what happens when Wednesday comes. Friday, for Appointment with Fear this week, sticking with the Christmassy theme, we're doing The Children, which is a British horror thriller about some kids, 2 or 3 families have gone to like a cottage in the country to get away for it all for Christmas, because it's a Christmas film. And for some reason, the kids turn into killers. So the kids start murdering them. It's a fun film. It is good. From 2008. So that's what we're doing on. I thought we'd already done it. I'm sure I had a memory of, doing the children on Friday Night Apart with Fear, but apparently I've looked through and I can't see it anywhere. So there we go. So that's what we're doing on Friday. And next Monday's Magnificent Mondays is, I can't remember. I will have to check my list. Just bear with me. There's my list. What's next Monday's Magnificent Mondays? I've got my schedule. It's White Christmas next week, which I've got here. There we go. White Christmas next week. So I'll not be singing, don't worry. But I really like this film. I think it's a good film, and it always gets me bottom lip quivering at the end. It is a good film, White Christmas. Obviously based on the song with Bing Crosby and I've forgotten who bloody is in it. No, is it Danny Kaye? Yes, Bing Crosby, Danny Kaye, Rosemary Clooney, and Vera Ellen, and Dean Jagger in a cool film. A cool film with some good songs in it. But there's a controversial scene in it, isn't there? With a bit of blackface. So I don't know if that's still in it, or did they edit it out? I don't know. But never mind. Anyway, so that's what's coming up. Right, so we'll leave it there. So thanks, Win Grace and Justin and Adam Gamer and Tim Rose, who's not the Tim Rose that did Admiral Akbar. Oh, so he says. And Stream Boo. Still don't know what Stream Boo is. Thanks for keeping me company while we talk about, I've put it away, Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe. But hope you had a very happy Thanksgiving, and hope you're looking forward to Christmas as I am. I'll be putting the Christmas tree up. I've got a new Christmas tree this year. I've got an old one. I don't get real trees because they're a pain, aren't they? So we've had like an artificial tree for a million years, and I've got a new one. I've got a fibre optic one, so I'll be putting that up this week sometime. When I find it goes over there, there's you can't see it. I've got a corner over there that's got loads of stuff piled in it at the minute, including the TV that I've got to find room for, and others. So my house is just too full of junk. So anyway, right. As I said, we'll leave it there. So thanks for watching wherever you are. Look after each other, and until next time, I've got to find my thing. And until next time, I'll say that. I'm sure I've forgotten something. Never mind. It can't be important. I'll say this.